Hello, and how is everyone doing today? Welcome to Saxx's #1 very first episode of my brand new podcast here at Saxx Says called Saxx Talk. So got some kinks to work out, but I'll get it figured out. It's episode #1. But let's roll. Good to see y'all here. Hey y'all, welcome to episode #1 on Saxx Says. This is my podcast. This is Saxx Talk. Got Henry in the house. Got Charles Hayes in the house. We got this motherfucker in the house that makes it all happen. Wayne Version.
You remember.
Forgot your name.
Shit.
Right, really? Okay. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today, y'all, is we're going to talk about some weird, crazy shit that's happened in your life, some weird, crazy situations you've been in, and how you got out of that situation. So, just to break the ice up in here, I'm going to start off with my most recent crazy episode that happened, just so I can give people a little vibe what to run on. So, only a few weeks ago, I had my store was taken over by a gunman, right? Had the gun in my face, he let me out, let me keep my life. So, basically, the whole idea of this podcast is just to talk about some crazy shit that's happening in your life. So that happened, dude pull, I hear gunshots in the store. I walk around the corner from my kitchen, dude's got a gun in my face. He's like, hey, I'm gonna let you out. Long story short, 4.5 hour standoff with the SWAT. They shot and killed the dude in my spot. So that's the idea, the gist of what we're talking about. Now, this podcast ain't about me, it's about the guest. So we're gonna let them tell some stories. What's up, Henry? What you got? Tell me some shit that happened in your life.
All right, you know what? I'm pivoting on the spot. I had a story because you gave me the premise, and I was like, about 4 or 5 like fucked up stories, like things that happened to me that were negative, like put me at a real low spot. But I actually realized something. It's a messed up situation, but it has a happy ending, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Hey, rock it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you, Charles. I like that. Hey, clap it out.
So it starts pretty happy, right? Like, so I moved to this neighborhood, McKinney Heights, about 3 months ago. Pretty new to the area, really love it. I was living downtown Austin and just wanted to kind of get away from the downtown hustle and bustle, get out to the burbs where it's nice and quiet, and we got that big park. And I started doing a morning walk. Every morning, wake up about 6 a.m., sometimes 5, and I like to get out when the sun comes up and just walk around the neighborhood. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Which I see you every morning. You come strolling into my shop at like before the sun's up with your dog and your 9mm on your hip and your MAGA hat. Like, this is my world. I'm happy. I love that.
Absolutely.
Keep going, man. I love that about you.
Yeah, exactly. I like to say I was at first I was red pilled, and then you get kind of black pilled,
right?
And then I got clear pilled, which is just, there's a lot of truth, love, and beauty in the world if you just open your eyes and open your heart and look around. And that's what happened this fateful morning. I think it was actually the day after the shootout happened, which oddly enough, I was there, right? I just left right when it started. I think you said I walked by the gunman. I was your last customer.
You was my last customer. Right when you walked out the door, 4 minutes later, whenever that happened.
And
you got the surf and turf.
As this man was pulling a gun out, I was eating Saxx tacos, being like, "This shit's delicious," Instagramming it and shit.
Meanwhile, the man that runs the front didn't even give me a heads up.
Yeah. I get a text from my buddy whose boss lives here. He says, "Oh, dude, like there's a shootout. There's SWAT." And I walk outside. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And my first thought was, "I hope Saxx is okay." Like, I was genuinely concerned until I kept checking in.
Yeah, he texted me like, "Man, Saxx, you all right?"
I kept checking in with the cops, and finally the cop was like, "Yeah, one person down, everyone else is good." I was like, "That's all I need here." So it's about 7 a.m. and I'm walking past Grand Meadows Park, right? That's right across the street from my house. It's beautiful, 10 acres, just open. And I see out of the corner of my eye this black dog, and he's coming up to me real quick. And this is a big 90-pound black dog. Looks like a hellhound, and he's coming up fast. And I'm just like, I thought I was going to die for a second, but he just gets all over me. He's friendly as hell. And I was like, "Oh, who are you?" Like he's hyper, and I look around, there's nobody in sight. I'm looking for his owner, and he's thirsty. He starts drinking the muddy water. So I grab him. He had a collar on, but no tag.
Hey, they fucked up by not putting the tag on him. Hey,
yeah, and so
no loss.
So I'm like, I guess I'll look around for a bit, but I took him to my house because it's less than a block away, and gave him some water, gave him some food. And he appears to be potty trained. He's a good boy, and I'm like, he's fixed. So I'm like, this beautiful dog he looks like a at first I thought it was a Doberman, maybe a Doberman Rock. But I looked into it. I think he's a Beauceron. And y'all can Google that.
Yeah, it looks about right.
Yeah, it's a French herding dog.
Yeah.
I got a DNA
Charles
test.
real good with dogs too.
You got a DNA tested?
Yeah. Well, no. It's DNA test is in progress, so I'll update you guys when I figure it out.
Right.
But anyway, so I have this dog. First thing I do is I take him to PetSmart because they could run a tag. Plus, I need to get like a chain for him or a
dog
leash.
stuff.
Yeah, dogs. I didn't have dog food. I was feeding him. I remember I was feeding him hot dogs, and then I fed him one of those hot dog of the seas, the like fish, fake fish or fake crab. He didn't. He's wouldn't eat
like,
it.
no, dogs are smart.
Like, he's picky. No, I mean most dogs will eat anything. Is like
except not smart ones.
He's a picky bitch.
Not smart ones, not true.
So like this, immediately I fall in love with the guy, and I take him to PetSmart, and they scan his tag, and they go, you know what, like it's not registered to anyone. Oh. So I keep him, and I instantly fall in love, and I had him, and I took him to the vet, I got him all vaccinated, got the chip registered in my name, so I said, he's mine. Legally, free, I asked them, they're like, yeah, legally you own him. I was really happy about that. And so about 2 weeks ago, I'm walking the dog, and I always had this low-level anxiety, because I knew.
Right, you knew it was somebody else.
I knew it was somebody.
Somebody owned it before me.
He was too nice. He definitely was trained. He was about 2 years old. And so I'm like, someone, someday, someone's gonna see him. Maybe I would get real paranoid about leaving him without. I wouldn't leave him chained in front of the gas station. I always take him with me.
So that must have happened to you, huh? Worst nightmare.
So anyways, I'm walking. I had my headphones in, and there's this 16-year-old boy, and he's just staring at me. And I'm looking at him like, he's definitely staring at me. And he's staring at the dog.
What you looking at?
And he's staring at me, and he starts mouthing something. I have music in, so I take the headphones off. He goes, "That's my dog."
Damn.
And instantly, I knew he wasn't lying. I could tell in his demeanor that he was like, he was in shock.
How long did you have the dog at this point?
4 weeks.
Like 4 months. So you already got attached to it at this point.
Completely attached. I mean, he sleeps in my bed. Like I treat this dog.
Man.
I mean, whatever I eat,
that's a conundrum,
he's eating
brother.
too. Yeah. It was a conundrum. Yeah. He was like, that's my dog. His name is Smokey, and he goes, Smokey.
Yeah. I was like, he perked up. You knew for sure that was his dog.
So there was no collar on it.
There was a collar, but no tag. No nothing. No identifier.
No, Henry would have returned. He's a.
I know. I get that. But some people will just have the name of the dog.
I did put him on. Because
what were you calling the dog?
Maverick. Yeah, at first I named him Don, and everyone's like, I don't know.
You said Don?
Don? Like Don.
Hell no! I thought you said Don. I'm like, that's gangster. You said Don like some dish soap. It's a penguin.
That's how I was picturing you. And then Maverick, I don't know, he just seemed like a...
So your dog's got 2 names now.
Yeah, he's Maverick Smokey Minden. And, so anyways, so he's like, I'm talking to the kid, and he's like, I'll give you some money for him. I said, I'll give you money for him. Like, I just want to resolve it. And he's like, I don't know, like my family's really misses him. And I said, you know what? We're both pretty emotional about this. I really don't know what the right thing to do is right now.
Right.
We need to get a third party involved, a third neutral party.
No shit.
And I give him my number. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. My first instinct was, I give him a fake number. But I said, no.
You're a Christian, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, good. Always go with the right thing. For sure.
That's exactly right.
Pretty much
always do the right thing, and don't be
way.
fearful of the right thing. A lot of people are scared to do the right thing, or there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I learned in church, you shouldn't have that fear with
the truth shall set you free.
If you go with Jesus, you don't have to be scared of anything.
Yep.
So
you don't have to do this.
So I give him my number. I said, listen, I'm gonna look into this, and I promise I'll contact you. And so first thing I do, I go home and I go on ChatGPT and I wrote the whole scenario, and it tells me this is a complicated legal situation. In Texas, you technically own the dog right now. However, if the previous owner can prove that they owned it, then technically they can take him back. And so I instantly, I started texting the guy. I said, listen, I looked into it. Legally, he's your dog. As much as it pains me to say this, you have the right to have him back, and I'll give him back to you. I'm not going to fight you at all. I'm not going to lie, I love the dog, but it's a golden rule. If I were in your situation, I would want him back. And I said, I'm a Christian, and I'm going to do the right thing. And hopefully I I can see him someday.
Well, look at it this way, brother. At least you were the person that found that dog instead of some other scumbag piece of shit.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? So for 4 weeks, that dog was able to be in a place where it got a good environment, got love, got this and that. And
He loved it.
Then it was able to go back to the boy or
Right.
the family.
So
we haven't got that far yet.
Exactly.
That's
So
we don't know if he's going back to the family yet.
What John was saying is straight. That's on point though. Like John said, like at least he got found by a good dude. Right. And I feel the same thing.
I don't know the end either. So
as I send this message, I get another message from another number, and it turns out it's the kid's brother. The kid there's eight kids in the family.
Oh,
they live 4 blocks down the street from me. There's 8 kids, and all of them love the dog. Right?
Okay.
And so I get and it's a long text. It's a long run-on sentence, but it's well spoken. But it's one sentence. It just basically says, "Look, you found our family's dog. We've been crying about him being gone for the last month. We are prepared to hire a lawyer and take you to civil court. If you do not respond to us by the end of the week, it's just that we love him and we've been missing him and
they want him back.
We want him back and not trying to be rude, but we're prepared to.
We're going to take it the distance. We love our dog.
And as I said, listen, I screenshot. I said I just sent this to your brother, and I sent him the text I sent that said you could have him back, and I was expecting a quick response, but because he responded quickly, I guess he texted, and I was waiting back, and then kind of waiting, and then he texts back. He says, "Okay, well, we just want to make sure he's okay. Clearly, he's attached to you."
No, that's.
I'm gonna find.
Hey, you got some pictures and some text, right? So. Henry, at some point, will you shoot that over to me, photos or whatever? I can clip that into this podcast so people can see what you're talking about and see the beautiful dog.
I want to find the text because honestly, it blew me away what he said back.
So, what compelled you not to just take the dog? Like, what you met the kid? Why didn't you just walk the kid with the dog?
Because he's like you said, he just fell in love with the dog. It was just a hard thing.
I'm just saying, if you want to do the right thing, why wouldn't you just?
Because
the right thing might be me keeping it. I don't know who the previous owners are.
I'm just asking.
But great question. Because at the time when I saw him, I was totally shocked.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the right thing necessarily was.
And you
according
really
to the
don't
law.
know for sure if that's his dog at that point.
Right.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on in there. But great question. And love the way you're playing devil advocate.
No,
Wayne's World.
It's a weird question because I mean, so dogs are a huge responsibility. I know you're willing to take it on. Okay, yes. But if the household is like tore up about it, it's like, okay, where do you live? Let's go. I want to talk to your superior, right? I want to talk to your family. I want to know if this is legit, and see if you have 8 kids. I want to see if because you're gonna get 8 different answers. Or you're gonna get all one answer.
Real talk.
It's gonna be a uniform answer. But I mean, there is a little part of us that are just like, I love this dog.
Right.
Let's go for a walk.
My girl, when I told her what happened, I went right home and she was there, and I told her what happened. She said, "That's your dog. You spent like $1,000 on it." And I said, "I know, but I looked it up. And besides the law, like, it's the right thing to do."
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all. Yeah. For the first time I met Henry, he had that dog. So all my memories of Henry is with that dog, right? When I think of Henry, I think of the dog.
Yeah.
Period. And he's so great with the dog. Dog loves him to death. So when he told me last week, so y'all viewers, this ain't my first time hearing the story. This is their first time hearing the story. But I love this story, so shut up and listen. But when he told me, Saxx, I almost lost my dog today.
No.
This is just like a week and a half ago. I was like, what are we talking about? Dog got out the fence? What? He's like, "No, man. Remember I told you."
Wait, so I'm the bad guy right now?
It's like. Remember I told you. I found the owner came across me, and I was like, "No, that owner asked out, man. That's your dog." That's why I love his story so much. That's the way it turns out. But I'm gonna let him finish telling his story.
Yeah. So anyway, it blew me away. He said back, "I will show you the documents that's our dog, and I don't want to take him away. I just want to make an arrangement for my siblings. Smokey gets really attached to people, so I would hate to take him. Maybe he could just be with us on the weekends or something. But that's a discussion I want to have in person." So I call him immediately. I said, "Hey, do you want to see him tonight?" And he said, "Yes." And so I took him over, and I go up to the house. It's 4 blocks away. Immediately, I get on my truck with Smokey, Maverick, and these 2 little blonde kids go, "Smokey!" and they were like, he's back. And I was like,
melted,
and then the 8 kids come out, the mom comes out, the dad comes out. They were so happy to see him, it was a beautiful moment. And in that moment, I said, "Look, this is the neighborhood's dog." he got out because I got the whole story. It's incredible. They had him, and he kept getting out because he chews through fences. He's already chewed through my fence 2 or 3 times.
Oh shit!
And he got out. He got hit by a car. He came back. He was very injured, gravely injured, and they took him to the hospital. And he spent 3 months in the hospital recovering. And Lord knows how much that cost.
Charles, this man right here we talking to right now. I watched this man put his dog in the hospital 3 or 4 different times. They spent like $25,000. So it is not cheap. I'm telling you, my dog is unvaccinated, not clipped, nothing. I've had that dog her whole life. I got her when she's 6.5 weeks old. I raised my dog the way I was raised. Hard knock life. What, you need medication? You better get better. Put some Robitussin on it. My dog is amazing. She's good to go. But guys like Charles, guys like Henry, that have these dogs that will spend $20,000, $30,000, that lets you know how much they love them. So my point to bring this up is,
especially when I didn't have a kid yet.
Right. My point to bring this up is if the people that owned the dog before him put him in the hospital and paid those kind of prices, they obviously love the dog. Right. Henry, that's an amazing story, man. Give me some love, bro.
Well, it's not over. It's not over.
Oh,
No. So
what the fuck happened? I thought that was it.
He can take as long as he wants.
No, I know this man got 26 minutes left, and we got 2 more stories to go.
They had a great time with the dog, and it was really beautiful. And they told me the story of how he got her and he kept getting out. And so there's a couple points I want to make about this. A, get pet insurance.
100%.
Because I got pet insurance. It's
100%,
but these, you fall in love and you will spend $20,000 on the dog if it's in peril. B, make sure they do the chip right, because they did all that, but I think they forgot to register it, so I couldn't get him back.
Oh, because it was already chipped when you found it.
It was chipped, but they didn't register. You have to. So everyone, PSA, just because they put a chip in doesn't mean it got chipped. You have to go and register the chip.
Exactly.
And there's actually several
My dog
bodies.
has 5 chips.
Yeah, there's several bodies that register it. And so make sure.
Pringles?
And then C, don't rely on the chip because they don't always work. They might make a mistake when they register it.
Sorry.
What you want to do is get an air tag. It's $30 and it's not GPS, but what it is it works on all the Apple iPhones. So anytime anyone with an iPhone passes by, that goes into the network and that puts the location. He's an escape artist, so
as long as you're not living in the country,
I can tell you right now,
the iTag worked great, huh?
But I'm a Droid guy, so I would be like, that dog means nothing to me.
I gotta find mine.
It's like ketchup. I've named my dog
Once
ketchup.
again, I'm the bad guy.
Last seen an hour ago, I know exactly where he is and how I can find him.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right here. That's my dog.
Well, for all the viewers, you now know where he lives since the dog's at home.
Yeah. So anyway, but and those people are amazing people. They're also Christian. I think I met the dad, and I could tell there was some tension in the family, because I think the story of Smokey is that the kid, his name is
Bandit.
So there's Eli's one of the brothers, and Hector is the one that Hector is one I saw, and Hector's ex-girlfriend came with him as a puppy in a box. And so I don't know if the dad necessarily wanted a dog, and I could tell the dad was a little bit, there was something a little off, and I think he basically said, look, he found a good home, he's well taken care of. They just want to know that he was okay.
And no doubt he was when they met
absolutely.
you.
Well, if he's going through fences, they have 8 kids.
Yeah.
I think they want another
one of the
slipping
kids
through the fence.
You're trying to get away from the
They have a little son.
How much destruction has that
wants
man
to be an
been
only
through?
child,
With
bro.
8 dogs plus a dog that likes to dig through fences.
Yeah.
Dude, Smokey
Come on.
Bandit wants to be freaking.
I think he was like,
Smokey
this is
Bandit.
enough. He's got enough going on. And one of the kids, Enrique, he got out, and Enrique followed him so far, he was chasing him for miles, that he got lost, and they had to call 911 to get the kid. I think it all worked out, and I mean, the moral of the story is do the right thing.
Don't have fear. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to. So you still For all the viewers, you still have possession of the dog.
Absolutely. He's
Still
at my
your
house
dog.
right now.
You've already contacted the family. They've got to see the dog. They've got to hang out with it. You've taken them over to visit.
Oh, they've taken care of him. Like they said,
Right.
if you go travel, we'll take care of him. I went up to the lake and I let him stay there for the day. They took great care of him.
You got co-parenting with
It was
the
beautiful.
So when 911 showed up and Enrique was there, was Enrique gracious that they picked him up? It was just bothering me.
That's a beautiful story. And you know what? I really like the fact that was the very first story on the very first podcast at Saxx Talks, because we are in Austin, Texas, for all y'all that don't know. And if you don't know this about Austin, Austin is a huge dog-loving city. All right, one of the tops in the world. So that was a really great story to have to be the very first story on Saxx Talks. Man, I love that. Thank you, Henry, for bringing it. I love it.
So
Charles, I know you. Go ahead, Wayne.
In recap, so you have the dog, you have custody of the dog.
Yeah.
part-time?
Thank you.
The dog is
that's what I was
free and
wondering,
clear mind, and I don't have to have anxiety.
There's no custody thing. There's nothing.
No. I told him. I said, look, anytime
anytime
you want to see the dog, it's yours to see, or you can hang
That's
out
awesome.
with. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Can we see the dog? Okay.
No, we will, because
I almost
that's
brought it, but,
awesome.
Henry, if you don't mind, later on, if you'll this evening or something after you leave, you'll shoot me a couple snapshots of some pictures of the family with the dog.
I have a video of
shoot me a clip so I can
That
show
is-
the viewers that. Now, Charles, I know that you don't have too many stories in your life.
Do you call him Maverick or Smokey?
I call
No,
him
Maverick Smokey.
Maverick Smokey.
Yeah.
Maverick Smokey.
Maverick Smokey. Yeah.
Maverick Smokey.
Yeah.
I think Smokey
You just
Maverick
call-
sounds better, but he got to put his dog name first, because we're men.
Smokey Maverick.
Your shit got to come first. Smokey Maverick
Smokey
sounds
Maverick
better, but
Minden,
since you
actually.
named him Maverick, I mean, I get that.
Hey, as I like to say, it's a fluid situation. I like that.
Love it.
Smokey Maverick Minden.
Love
it.
SM.
Yeah,
Oh,
love it. You see where the last name still lands, Mendez. All right, that's what matters.
Minden.
Oh, Minden.
Yeah,
Oh,
Minden.
Minden. Like, that's what I said, y'all. Y'all hearing things, man. Get your Q-tips, man. Y'all ain't listening. Charles, man, I know something's had to happen in your life at some point in time, man. Tell me some crazy shit.
Maybe if that dog's shooting through fences and shit, maybe it's trying to get away from the hate kids. I'm just saying.
Point taken.
I'm
Point
sorry.
taken.
No. I'm just.
I felt like.
I mean, it's
I
like
felt like
fences,
when I
bro.
met him, I felt like he was
Thank you.
somebody.
Thank
no,
you.
No.
someone I knew. I mean, it sounds
Right.
weird, but honestly, I felt like it was a spirit,
Yeah,
a soul.
exactly. I feel that.
This is gonna be
1,000%.
really weird, and I do go into the spirit realm.
Oh,
but
yeah. I'm with that, bro.
I felt like he was my grandpa.
Dude.
And who says
Very
not?
I
Bro,
know.
one of the clips I just released on the video I put out yesterday was the little boy whose dad just passed away. It was like a week after his dad died, and this little boy, he's probably like maybe 7 years old. He's sitting on the front porch, and a little red sparrow comes down, lands beside him. You know, birds are finicky; they ain't gonna let nobody get close to him.
Yep.
Not only did it land beside him, let the little boy play with it, pet it, pick it up, and say, "Oh, it's my."
Nice.
That was his father coming to say goodbye. Sorry, man. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, yo. I believe in that stuff, like for
He
real.
came into my life pretty much the same week that my girlfriend now, that I think we'll get married and have kids, like they came into my life at the exact same time, and I feel like I knew her from. We feel like we
Right,
knew
you're
each other
connected.
in a
It's
past life.
soulmate
for sure.
type stuff for sure.
Yeah.
I love
And,
it.
and similar to like we came.
Right, when we
into each other,
connected, you came in wearing Kansas City Chiefs stuff. Now, for all you fans that don't know, I'm a Texas man, but I'm from Kansas, baby. I will always claim Kansas. I'm from Kansas. Kansas City is my thing. But this cat, Henry, first time he came into my restaurant, he come walking in, KC'd out, KC hat, KC shirt, just everything else matched, just like, and a pistol on his hip, like what? Big dick up in here. I'm in here for a taco. Don't make me shoot a motherfucker. Like, I love Henry right out the gate when I met him, man. So yeah, that's my dude.
I love you too.
That's
man.
my dude. Real talk, brother. Love you.
That's
Charles, you got something to tell us, man? Tell us something.
Wayne.
Me?
No, well, go ahead, Wayne.
I want to hear Wayne's.
I know that Charles,
I've never had anything
you are
crazy or
great
badass
at
with
talking,
me.
and I know it's 4:32. I know Henry has a hard deadline, 5 o'clock period. He gotta go.
Where you gotta
So
go?
I wanted you to get a story in
Okay.
because Wayne could throw a story in like 2 or 3 minutes. He like me. He talk fast. So You should throw yours in, save him 5 minutes, and Wayne can drop his, and we can let Henry get on the move. For all y'all to know, this was supposed to be a 2-hour podcast. This is podcast number 1, so technical freaking difficulties. It took us an hour until we got going. We're an hour late.
It's coming.
So we shortening stuff up.
Worth the wait.
But Charles, I want to hear about you, man. I mean, I know all about you, bro, but tell the rest of the world about you.
I've never really had anything bad happen to me.
Okay, next.
And I've never really had anything crazy happen to me.
So one time I walked into a building and I got a splinter, and then it turned out it was someone else's splinter, and we went through a hole.
And at band camp.
And I named it Maverick. It gets dark. It gets dark. I mean, we've all had dark times, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that was a great story.
That.
I mean, seriously.
Well, that was a beautiful story. With a great ending, too.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy all the way around on that.
That could have been some shit to where it's like, it'd be, like, even if you still got to, like, hey, Smokey. You still gotta, like, say Smokey and shit. It's still their dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
No, I was literally, when I got home, I started looking at puppies and stuff, because I thought he was,
Dude.
and I was pretty emotional.
I've had, my entire life, I've had a dog. Until my 2 dogs got old on me, on us. And they both had a little Yorkie Jack Russell mix. She got to 16 and died. And then a pit mix that she got to about 12. But she had these big tumors on her sides and shit, and kept getting sick and losing all her weight and everything. So we just had her fucking murdered. And no, it's and I mean it was a pity murder, and we didn't do it. So it's not we didn't.
Yeah, but I mean I've had a friend that I grew up with.
It sucks so
and
bad, bro.
he had a dog that was like a Akita, but he was like big Japanese hunting dog. It was bigger than it was supposed to be, and it was mixed with some sort of, I don't know, like I want to say like a Newfoundland or something. Like it was a big boy, and just one day it just fucking dropped dead because he had internal tumors and no one knew about it. And I was in Australia, and like I said, I grew up with the dog as a child into like my early 20s. I come back from Australia and I say, "Where's Dozer?" And they're like, "Oh, he's been dead for 4 months." I was gone there for like a half a year. I was devastated.
He was just here a minute ago.
Yeah.
They didn't pull that on you. My dad did it to me once.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
What else happened to your dog?
Dude, he's outside. Dude. He's in the woods.
Fred, come here, boy.
Right.
I know you got a good story. Let's hear it.
No, I don't. I like that's a. No, I fucking Let's see. I got a bunch, man. I fucking I got like it said shitty. Does it have to have poop in it?
I mean, he was talking about dogs. I'm sure dogs poop. And unfortunately,
Shitty story.
It's
Like you said, just
well,
shitty.
no, shitty. Like it just
Like
Maybe like wild.
Fuck.
Okay,
Okay,
it doesn't have to be like
crazy.
crazy.
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I have like.
And how you got out of it, because that's what made me think of the dog one, because I think that was the message. Is like, you get. In my case, I got out of it by doing the right thing, which a lot of times I feel like in life, we get the opposite message, or the people who do the conniving thing get ahead, and the people who do the right thing get stomped all over. Right, nice guys finish last. Yeah. And I think it's important to know that that's not always the case. Sometimes
it doesn't have to.
I mean, I truly think if you do the right thing, it's not always going to have a happy ending.
Well,
I'm not saying that. You might be tested by
also,
God.
everything's perspective. Like if this is a realm of positive and positive and negative coexist within the same spectrum, then technically they're kind of equal, equal-ish anyway, because even though they're opposite ends, they are a part of that spectrum, so they are part of the same entity, concept, whatever. You know what I mean? So if I can train myself to, like, let's say I used to have these headaches and shit all the time and everything, and my teeth and everything, and I get so bad, and I didn't want to take anything for it, and couldn't take anything for it to make it go away. But I started like teaching it's like, okay, either this shit's gonna eat me, or I have to learn to like that pain, as fucked up as that sounds. And I was doing this thing to where when it started kicking in, I'd be like, more. Give me more. And I'm just like, okay, it's right here. We're smashing right now. Let's lock horns and give me fucking more. You know what I mean?
Would you push on it? Say if it was a tooth.
Sometimes it's internal, like especially the headaches. There's nothing I can do physically. You know what I mean? I to the point, dude. Think about how many times I just like my hair had a fucking mullet, but it was a mohawk first, but it was long, and I keep doing this shit. It's like I always do that. It's like I'll get a headache or something, and lately it's a different type of headache. Once I was able to figure out what the cause of all that was, get that all fixed and get it nipped in the bud. Now it's something different. I kind of react to electronic frequencies and electromagnetic frequencies, radio frequencies differently than I used to. They fuck with me a lot. Anxiety, headaches.
Is it more of like you always see like the flash bombs go off and get the you don't get that. It's not like that. Is it a womp womp or is it
different? And it's subaudial too. Super audio.
When I used to do mushrooms, I used to get this little like a flutter in my ear, like a fa. Yeah, and so I don't get that anymore. But so it's different.
Different. Okay. It's I could actually. It was driving me crazy, and then it hit me just from like making beats and stuff. Like piano roll. The higher you go, you end up getting. You go high, and eventually it just.
Oof.
And then when you go low,
Ooh, I don't like that.
and I can feel those.
So are you feeling it in your brain or in your heart?
In everything.
In like your respiratory?
Everything.
Interesting.
Everything. Yeah.
Are you a doctor? We should get a doctor in here.
And here's the thing. It only happens. No, here's the thing.
Here we go.
Dude, I used to fucking freak out about it. Anxiety, panic attacks, all that shit. One day I'm sitting on the couch. And
You still do?
Yeah, no, it's different now. I got fucking. I ride
a different couch.
I ride the wave, bro. No, I ride the wave. I don't take shit for it either. I like to hit a little bit of that legal.
You smoke weed every day, man. You take shit
No,
for
I
it. You
don't.
just take the right shit.
No, I don't.
You just take the right shit.
No, I don't. And I've changed some shit, and I've gotten to where I take certain things out of my diet and my daily life that were influencing and making certain things making it to where certain things affect me more intensely, and also to chelating. Doing some chelation, trying to get as much of the bad metals out of my body as possible because those react to all that
Plus
shit.
turmeric that you put me onto.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, cilantro, turmeric. Especially with black pepper, it makes it like 1,000 times more bioavailable or some shit because your stomach burns everything off, most shit. And so you have the turmeric for the inflammation, and a slew of other things, but in particular the inflammation, especially if it's in my brain or my lymphatic system. Helps with the inflammation to help that recede a little bit, and then the cilantro goes in, does its magic, and then chelates it, and so it like breaks it down, makes it fat, breaks it down so your body can process it and get shitted out. And now that I'm doing that, I don't have near as much of that as I used to. And as far as panic attacks and shit, one thing about that, I thought I was having a heart attack one day, and I called Saxx one morning. I'm like, dude, I'm having a heart attack. Will you go with me? We're going to the ER. And it goes all night long, dude. My fucking heart was bang. You know what I mean? Just fucking, I'm fucking dying, dude. Didn't matter what nothing I could do would stop it. And we go to the urgent care thing, and they hook me up to machines, and they're like, dude, your heart's strong, you're just a pussy, and you're having a fucking so
you're a fucking liberal.
So pay these fucking pills.
You talk like a faggot, and shit's all retarded.
You're a liberal, man. Man up, grow some balls,
Not scoot, man.
Make a Charlie great again.
Go away, I'm beaten.
Well, I like what you said about perspective. Like, are you guys Jocko fans? Jocko Willing?
I'm not a fan, but a lot of stuff.
Well, he's got like one of the best like motivational videos online.
Right, he does.
It's just called like Good, where he basically, he starts where he's like, whenever my guys would call me with a problem, they, I'd always say the same thing to the point where they wouldn't even call him with the problem because I already know what.
Well, everyone, I am so sorry for that abrupt stop there at the end. It was storming outside and the power went out. So by the time power got back on, systems got booted back up, it was already time for Henry to have to go. He was on a very tight time crunch. Storm kind of knocked the piss out of the podcast whenever they realized, oh dang, they still got to drive home and that stuff. So, but it's all right, man. We managed. I'll patch it up. We're gonna make that work for the first episode. But thank y'all for being here. Love y'all. So we're gonna drop the ideas to drop the Saxx Talk every Sunday. So shoot the podcast every Saturday. Give me a day to edit and drop it on every Sunday. That's the going plan here. And then my every other day reactions that I'm doing right now with the Saxx Top 20 picks. So anyway, I'm trying to carve out that time to make all this happen, because I still put in 60, 70 hours of work in my restaurant every week too. So it's tight squeezing this stuff in, but I'm going to try to do that for y'all. Love y'all though. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.